we are from Group 9.
In this video, we will talk about song translation using 10 translation strategies by Akerstrom.
But before that, let us introduce ourselves.
I'm Siti Nurun N.M with student number 289.
I'm Aisha Maliki with student number 290.
I'm Risqita Difa with student number 295.
So, let's we talk about the theoretical background first. Akerstrom in 2009 proposed 10 translation strategies in dealing with song lyrics translations, which are divided into two different subparts. They are non-strategic translation strategies and strategic translation strategies. Now we talk about what those two are. First, the non-strategic translation strategies consist of two categories, namely word count and syllable versus words. Meanwhile, the strategic translation strategies that refer to the ways that translators use in order to overcome the challenge when translating song lyrics. It consists of use of paraphrases, use of rhymes, omission of words, metaphor in text, use of English words in the translation, literal translations, interpretation strategy, and the last one is addition of words. And this is how the theory make a contribution in translating, especially in songs translation. Well, basically, Akerstrom made a significant and a highly valuable contribution by proposing a detailed set of translation strategies specifically for song lyrics. It's recognizing that translating songs is different from translating other texts due to the need to match rhythm, the melody, and the meaning. So, his strategies offer practical tools for studying and executing lyrical translation in a structured way. Now we move on to discuss what the non-strategic translation strategies are. Like we've explained before, the non-strategic translation strategies consists of two categories, namely word count and syllables versus words. So now I will explain what the word count is. Well, according to Akerstrom, word count is a strategy that refers to a comparison of the number of words in the source line and the target line of song lyric. In song translation, the number of words in the original and translated lyrics plays an important role as they must match the rhythm of the music and the number of the scales. So, the translators often reduce or add, even replace words to fit the structure of the song without losing the meaning and the emotion.
The next is syllables versus words, a strategy that compares the number of words and syllables in both source lines and the target lines of the song lyrics. In translation, lyrics of a song, the number of words is unimportant, but the number of syllables is important since the text will be sung and should suit in the music.
Strategic translation strategies revert to the ways that translators use in order to overcome the challenges when translating song lyrics. The first strategy is use of paraphrases. According to Akerstrom, paraphrase strategy is a strategy when the translator chooses to maintain and present the central meaning of the source line to its closest meaning in the target line at the expense of changing the form.
Next is use of rhymes. This strategy refers to the way a translator handles rhyme, similarity of final sounds, from the source language to the target language. The translator considers the differences in language sounds, vocabulary limitation, and the priority between meaning, rhythm, and rhyme to decide whether to keep the original rhyme, use a different rhyme, paraphrase, or even omit it in order to maintain the musicality and cohesion of the song.
The third is omission of words. Akerstrom stated omission of words strategy is known as a strategy that eliminated any relevant information from the source line to the target line. An omission strategy is an omit, regardless of whether it is a referencing like removing a line of the source's text.
Fourth, metaphor in text. So, according to Akerstrom's theory, metaphor usage strategies refers to how translators handle the use of metaphors in song lyrics from source language to the target language. This strategy highlights the challenge of translating figurative language in song lyrics and conveying the meaning and artistic effects of the metaphors in the target language.
5. Use of English words in the translation refers to a strategy where English words are intentionally retained in the translated lyrics instead of being translated into the target language. Akerstrom's use is more of deliberate stylistic or musical choice, not just because there's no translation available. 6. Literal translation refers to the approach of song lyric translators to translate word for word from the source language to the target language, maintaining the original grammatical structure as possible.
7 is interpretation strategy. To explain or clarify the meaning in the translation when the literal translation may lack of clarity, ambiguity, or lose cultural nuance. For the target audience, this strategy offers a more explanatory or interpretative translation, involving adding information or interpretation to ensure the message of the song can be properly understood.
And the last one is addition of words. According to Akerstrom, addition of words is the strategy of adding words or phrases to the translation to clarify implied meaning, adjust musicality like rhythm and rhyme, provide cultural context, or improve language fluency to make the translation more effective in the target line. One thing to remember, addition must be relevant and not change the essence of the original song's message.
Example of non-strategic translation strategies. The first one is word count. By Disney Moana song How Far I'll Go, 45 lines of lyrics with a total of 268 words, but in the target language there are 29 lines of lyrics and 145 words. The difference is 16 lines and 123 words. The next one is syllables versus words. In songs Do You Want to Build a Snowman? In the source language, I Never See You Anymore has 5 words and 8 syllables, while in target language, Ku Tak Pernah Melihatmu has 4 words and 8 syllables. This indicates the target line appears to have fewer words than the source line. The fewer number of words presented by the target line do not make any change in the number of syllables, because the words used in the target line contain a similar number of syllables to the source line.
The strategic translation strategies example. First is use of paraphrases. In the line, I wish you would tell me why, seems to carry the message of expressing a desire to obtain an explanation from someone. It was translated into Jelaskanlah Mengapa, that expresses a request for sharing information. By comparing the source and target lines would express a request for explanation. Since the translator kept the meaning but changed the form, the paraphrasing strategy was applied. The next is example of omission of words. The words try to and the are omitted in the Indonesian translation. Try to is implied as the speaker is expressing defiance against being confined. The is unnecessary before cage as buoy can function on its own.
This is our references for this material that we used in the video.
That's all from us.
Thank you for watching.